Shalom Aleichem, a good night of Shabbos, Parshas Bamidbar, Shabbos Mevorchim, Chodesh Sivan, the month of Matan Torah. Today we'll show some clips of two Chabad shuls in Ramat Gan, Eretz Yisrael. Ramat Gan borders with Bnei Brak and Tel Aviv. Ramat Gan originally, as the words themselves imply, there were many parks and gardens. Gan is a garden. Ramat Gan has, in a sense, today the best of both worlds. The hustle bustle of Tel Aviv and the religiosity of Bnei Brak. You might be wondering what's so positive about Tel Aviv. Well, as we've already discussed in the past and we'll discuss more in the future with more clips from Tel Aviv, there was a lot of holiness in Tel Aviv. And if there was a lot of holiness, there is a lot of holiness. It just has to be discovered. More about that in a future program. The two shuls I'm talking about are the original Chabad shul, which was frequented by Hasidim of the Rebbe Rashab, such names as Reb Moshe Axelrod, Reb Chaim Moshe, Reb Shmuel Chaim Pulner, the mother of Chasya Winter, Reb Chaim Moshe Alperowitz, Reb Meir Brzezinski, Reb Kahan, the father of Reb Kahan, and others lived. Reb Avram David Yanovsky, the brother-in-law of Reb Kahan and a cousin to Reb Tzanchana. They all lived there in the 1930s when they came from Russia to Eretz Yisrael. The shul, the first shul, was unique in that it was a hub for Chassidishkeit of the Rashab's Talmidim, his students in Ramat Gan. So, for example, Reb Yosef Blazinski Olav Shalom told me that his father they were living in Bnei Brak, and there wasn't much going on. And he met Reb Kahan in the mikveh once, and he already had, Meir Blazinski learned in Tomchei Tmimim in Warsaw. That's where he became a Lubavitcher. Originally, the family were Polish Hasidim of the Porosover Rebbe, a Rebbe in Poland. Anyway, so he met Rebbe Kahan, and he said to him that he's so lonely, he has no one to fabring with and to learn Chassidus with. And so Rebbe Kahan said, come to us here in the Ramat Gan. We have a lot going on. And he started to come, and he started to attend the Tanya Shurim that Moshe Axelrod gave Friday night, either between a couple of Shabbos or Ma'ariv or after Ma'ariv, might even been after Ma'ariv, I think. And this brought a lot of simcha to him. At the same time, there was a lot of poverty going on for Yidden B'chalal and the Lubavitcher Chassidim that came from Russia specifically. But that shul really was the original hangout for Lubavitchers and Chassidish Fabringans and everything. So you'll see some clips about that. And then the second shul, which is in Ramat Yitzchak, it's called, that's a section in Ramat Gan. The Rav there was Rabbi Lifshitz. Rabbi Lifshitz was the head of Yad La'achim, which is an organization that continues to save Jewish girls specifically and women from, unfortunately, Arab husbands and things like that, doing clandestine operations many times, and also from converts from Jews for Yoshka that try to convert people. It does very important work, and it's very worthy of supporting it. So he was the Rav there for many years. The Rebbe gave him that instruction. And that shul, which kind of, in 1956, there are letters from the Rebbe, which you'll see in the clips about that, about the activities of Yitas Kislev and other events at that shul. The shul actually was donated, a piece of property, in 1938, September of 38, by an individual, which you'll see a plaque about that in one of the clips. But for some reason, it wasn't built for a year, many years later, which I talk about on one of those clips. So that shul stands today, and today the Ramat Yitzchak shul, which is called Heichel Mordechai, named after Reb Mordechai Gruzman, who was, I believe, a Husatner Chassid, whose son was the famous Reb Munke Gruzman, a Rosh Hashiva in Toim Chitmim in Kfar Chabad, and the Talmud Muvik of Reb Shlomo Chaim Kesselman. So his father was very involved in that shul, and the shul, this is interesting, the shul, why did they have a second Lubavitcher shul? They had the shul, the other shul, which is called Sukkos Shalom, after the Rebbe Rashab, Shalom Ber, that the Talmidim of the Rashab made that shul, and they called it Sukkos Shalom. Why did they open up later another shul in Ramat Yitzchak? It's not just because it's in another area, that too, but because the new shul wanted to keep the Lubavitch Chabad the way the Rebbe wanted it to be, with outreach and the not saying Akdomis and having 3.5 hakofis on Simchas Torah Day and not 7 and other things like that. The first shul still was very much keeping to the Rashab's minhagim. Again, I'm not implying there were many differences, but there were some differences. And the overall attitude was more old-fashioned versus, Yefutza Ma'asecha Chutzu, outreach. 1955, the sixth Rebbe opened Neshei Chabad and Tziragulis Chabad. Shmuel Blazinski, Rabbi Meir Blazinski's son, told me that that's when the Rebbe spoke about not just a defensive war, but an offensive war, going out and to the kibbutzim and teaching them chassidus and farbrengen with them. All of that began, I think he actually said, in 56 or so. So it corresponds to the date of this shul. Also, that Meir Blazinski started to give shiurim, and that's where he gave his classes and made many, many bali tshuva, including top shluchim in Eretz Yisrael, were his talmidim who became shluchim later on. So he also I believe he also moved over. Yeah, he moved over to that side, to Ramat Yitzchak area, and this shul, Heichel Mordechai. Today, he frequented it. Today, Rabbi Lifshitz's son, Rabbi Yisrael Lifshitz, is the Rav there, and he's a very fine gentleman, and someone who really brings honor to Chabad in the city of Ramat Gan. Although, it must be said, there are so many Jews that are still lacking and needing direction in Ramat Gan, and in my exploration of the various cities, I think Ramat Gan can use a great boost of Yiddishkeit and Chassidishkeit, and we need to augment that by doing what we can to make that happen. If anyone is interested in doing something in Eretz Yisrael, please let me know, because I'm very interested in pursuing doing something in Ramat Gan for the benefit of the Yidden there, and it will be a schus for you and your family, past and present and the future, to invest funds in making Ramat Gan more Yiddishkeit and Chassidishkeit, etc. So enjoy the clips and have a great Shabbos and Mashiach now, and prepare yourself a Matan Torah, Kabbalas HaTorah, B'simchu, B'pnimius.